We are pushing our limits today, folks, because the goal is to use all 5 of these new interference powders by 8-Bit Baits in one tiny swim bait. Yep, you heard me right. All 5 of these new interference powders. Gold, red, violet, green, and blue. And they're all going in this little dude, the 2.8-inch Epic Slouch. Not a whole lot of room to work with, so it will definitely be a challenge, but I have some ideas. I think we can get it done. First thing we need to do is get some plastic warmed up and work on a little skin pour. Alright, we got our first cup ready to rock and roll, all warmed up. BaitPlastics 242, as is the norm. I think for this skin pour, I want just a little dibble dabble of sparkle. We're not going to go too heavy, but just a little kind of glint here and there. So I got out the XFine silver from Hobby Lobby, oddly enough, and I'm going to put a 1/32 teaspoon in it. Again, just a little sparkle here and there. That's maybe a heaping 32nd, but that's okay. It's really, really fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. That looks good. So that's about as simple as it gets. We are ready to skin pour these guys. I did warm that back up because we want a really thin layer. This guy's only a 2.8-inch bait. This is less than 3 inches, so we gotta leave room for everything else that we're doing. Got my glove on to hold, and we're gonna keep it real simple here. Just start pouring and let it pour right out of the cavity, just like that. There we go. Do another one and pour it straight out. All right, with side 1 done, now we just got to do the other side. And there you go. The other side looks very similar to it. Now obviously we've got spillover, and we've got a bunch of plastic in the sprue here, all of which needs to come off, which is super simple. So all you got to do is take your finger or your thumb and push right against those sharp edges on the cavity, and it just cuts right off nice and clean. Just like that. Got that done. It looks pretty good. You can see all the edges are cleaned up. Did both sides. But truth be told, I'm starting to have second thoughts about this. Kind of second guessing on whether or not this is even going to be possible. Again, this is a 2.8-inch bait. It is a small bait, and when I chose it, I underestimated the size of the gate. So if you don't know what the gate is, this is the sprue. That's obviously the bait. The spot where the sprue meets the bait, that little gap right there, that's called the gate, right there. It needs to be open enough to allow our final step. Last thing we're going to do is inject this bad boy and see if it works. So there's got to be enough room there on both sides to let that injection go through without grabbing kind of the edge of that gate and just curling the whole thing, or popping it up and blocking the plastic from getting in. It's about 1,000 ways that this could go wrong.
Least you can do is level with me. What are my chances?
Not good.
You mean not good like 1 out of 100?
I'd say more like 1 out of 1,000,000.
But we're plowing ahead. We're gonna see if it actually comes together, and the first step here is to see if these close, if the mold closes without any gaps, and it does. So looks like I got all of the plastic on the edges off. So from there, I got all that clear with silver and put it back in here, warm this guy back up, because we're going to repurpose it with our first interference powder, and we're going to make some fancy tails. This is the 2.8-inch Epic Slouch tail mold. So undoubtedly this will be the easiest part of our process today. I think I heard our ding-a-ling. Yep, we are warmed back up. That's the same plastic as I mentioned, and we're going to repurpose it. So it already has a little bit of that silver in it, but I want to put some gold in it, and namely the Mica Shift Interference Gold. I know that you guys, if you've been in the bait making, around the bait making scene, you guys have seen these demoed by a lot of folks already. But in case you didn't know, these are automotive quality, automotive level interference powders, which means they pack a little bit bigger punch than maybe your run-of-the-mill highlight powders. That means two things. One, you can get the same effect with like a different kind of powder, a traditional highlight powder, but using less of this to do it, and you get a jack ton of it. Holy moly. A good price too. It's not very expensive on the site. Or you can use the same amount that you always use and just get more bang for your buck, right? Get a bigger impact. I've got about 3/4 of a cup left over. I'm not going to be too bashful here. We could go all the way to a quarter, but I'm going to practice just a little bit of restraint, and we'll go to 1/8, maybe a heaping eighth. Give me a break. I like this stuff. It's gorgeous. Been playing with a little bit, getting used to it, you know. But look at that, even in clear Plastisol. Are you kidding me? I mean, yeah, the silver is probably giving it a little bit of a backer, but holy moly, that is gorgeous. Look at that. To that though, I do want some sparkle in the tail, so I pulled out Barlow's size 015 holographic silver, and I thought it might look actually decent with a little bit of 015 black, but not much, just a 1/16 of a teaspoon. So let's mix that up. We think we need a little bit more of something. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I like what the black did, and I like what that sparkle did. I do think though we need a little bit more. So since we did ultrafine Hobby Lobby silver, let's do the same in gold. Go ahead and get another 1/4 teaspoon of that in there, because I like this stuff. There's just something about a gold tail to me. I don't know what it is. I just really like a nice gold tail, and that looks fan-freaking-tastic. I gave it a quick little warm-up. That powder and flake really cooled it off there, but this is good to go. Don't really have to worry about temperature as much when it's a single injection. So this is right around 330-ish or so. Injector's cold, mold is cold. Easy peasy. These are cooled off really quick because it's little bait. Not a whole lot in there to stay warm. So here are our tails. They're not going to all stay on one spot, get all jumbled up, but you get the idea. Look at those beautiful things. Gorgeous little dudes. I really like the black in them too. That was a nice little touch. Just dirties it up just a hair. Gives it a little texture and character. Now normally we would pop those off, put them right in the mold, shoot it. We're not going to do that yet. That is going to be step whatever. I don't know. A later step. We need to turn our attention now back to the bodies. Well, hello there, boys and girls. Welcome to Uncle SDG's Fun with Art. I have some special powders that we're going to put on some fun little fishies, and we're going to use use brushes. We're going to do some manly dusting. If you don't know what that is, it is when you pull out the brush and you use mica powders or your powder of choice. Ours are going to be interference powder today. And you brush on your clear coat. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. So we are going to bust out our first brush and interference green, because I thought it would look pretty sweet to have kind of a green back. Alright, I am not a duster, so this is going to be sort of new territory for me. Looks like my brush is all stiff as crap too. Alright, let's try that again. And put some dust right on top. All the way up to the head. I'll get that out of there. I want to actually blend it down, so I don't mind it coming down a bit. We'll just clean that off afterwards. Second color is going to be Interference Red. I thought that would look pretty sweet right on the chin. Get my brush all loosened up. Definitely don't want a lot here. Just enough to highlight that chin. Grab our excess. Alright, last but certainly not least, Interference Violet as the rest of the belly, but I want to leave a little bit of space in the middle for our Interference Blue when we do that injection. Okay, I had to stand up for this one. See that? I already got some violet in the middle. Dagnabbit. It's alright though. I'm hoping that all of these will kind of blend in together in the different pieces and parts and really make for something special. Bingo. Got the green on the top, got that red chin, got a nice violet belly, and you see I left some space right there in the middle. Alright, all the powder is off of me. These are done, ready to inject, I think, once we get the tails in. But here's what they look like. And of course I did both sides. I also found out pretty quickly that it's way easier to actually pick the mold up and hold it a little bit closer to you. You can move the mold around and dust that way. So if you're going to do this at home, I suggest that approach. So we need to load our tails into these guys. Went over and got a beaker just so I can put a little bit of worm oil into the beaker. Doesn't require a whole lot, just a couple drops. Just like that, any old container will do. Grab all of those tails, drop them in there, stir them around, get them nice and coated. Normally, I would put the worm oil on the mold itself, but I don't want to run the risk of the worm oil gumming up our powder. Alright, got them all greased up here. They should slide in pretty easily. Oh yeah, just like that. Easy peasy. Boom. Do that for all 6. Before I put the top on, I thought of another issue, potential issue, another reason to start doubting my plan here, and that is this side of the mold. Any guesses on what my concern might be? We already talked about the gate. Anybody saying the vents? Yeah, the vents are now potentially blocked off by our skin coat. I'm hoping that there's just enough there that will allow the air to escape, or like back here there's less of a skin coat, hardly any at all actually, so maybe the air can travel down that way and escape out the back. We got our tails fully loaded. Now we just need to gently place this on top. One of the other reasons it's really good to have a little bit of worm oil on your tails so that they can slide in super ginger-like. Yeah. I think we got it. No spaces. And for those keeping score, I went ahead and clamped it up. Here's our gates. Can you see in there? Yeah. See the plastic? It's kind of colored now, that green and red. But I do have an opening on each one.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
All right, the last step, the final frontier. Here we are, almost ready to inject this thing. Got the plastic warmed up ready to go. One more interference powder, and this one is blue. Gorgeous color. A lot of guys been using this on their channels to make a dynamite monkey milk. We are going to put some black into this one in hopes that this core color will be just dark enough to not only bring out the blue, but give the green, the red, and the violet just enough backer to make them pop as well. That's the theory. I don't know if it's going to work. So, step one, let's get some powder in this plastic. All right, I got another 1/8 of a teaspoon. We'll go a heaping 1/8. Goodness gracious. No wonder everybody's been using this one. That is a brilliant blue. Wow. I mean, it just pops. When Michael said that these are automotive quality, right? Holy moly. That is really freaking nice. Hope you guys can appreciate it from across the interweb. But it sure looks good in person. Get that stirred up. I don't think we're going to need any more blue, but let's go ahead and drop. I was going to do 2. Let's do 1 and see what that does. We definitely don't want a splurp. We want a drop. A little shout out to my wife, the splurp queen. All right. Okay. So now we have a decision to make. I think it needs a little. It needs to be a little darker. But I was thinking about putting black flake in this. Specifically the same stuff that we used before. 015 black flake, which is going to act as a backer. Would give the body a little bit of texture. But we already have the silver. And I don't want to make it too busy because we got 5 freaking colors in this thing. Okay, we're doing it. Alright, we're going to go small though. 1/32 of a teaspoon. If we still think we need more black pigment, then we'll add more black pigment. But surely 1/32 isn't going to take over. It did get darker. Y'all see that? It definitely got darker. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Do we want another drop of black? Yes. Sorry if you were screaming no. But this is it. This is going to be the last of our black additions to the mix here. Hopefully that wasn't overkill. No. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Yes. It's definitely setting up on us. And this is not the time to be injecting something even close to that cold, because we need it to be thin. We need it to be hot so that it bonds to everything, including the tail, everything. So let me get this guy back in the microwave. Get him up to at least 330, probably 340, and we'll inject it. All right, I took it up to 360, stirred it until it came down to just around 345. We've been working for a while, so our injector is once again cold. Mold is cold, so a little heat, extra heat is okay. I'm just stalling at this point because I really want this injection to go okay. All right, there's one. 3. Not sure about that second one. I drained into it before I was ready. There's 5 and 6. Tried to hold just a little bit of pressure on each one of those, but didn't want it sealing up on me. Alright, well, it's in the Lord's hands now. Alright, she's cooled off. 5 colors, 3 techniques, 6 little swim baits. Am I nervous? Wreck. Haven't been this nervous in a little while. It's a lot of work tonight. I really hope that this went well. Okay. Here we go. Let's open it up. Please don't suck. Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. Okay, it doesn't suck.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
Those actually look pretty darn good. Very cool. Look at that. This one's got a dent. Not really sure what happened there. Maybe the air got behind it or something, but look at that guy right there. Look at that! I'm looking for the red chin. There's the red chin. A little harder to see the red. But boy, that purple and the blue right through the middle. Oh, yes. That first one right there, or that middle one there, that is dynamite. Oh, you know what? I mentioned that. That was the second one. I think that was the second one where the injection got down into it before I made it to it. So it kind of, you know what I'm trying to say? Look at that beauty. I love the violet. Holy moly. I guess the violet, oh no, there's some red. You can see the red there. Definitely see the red. Not as powerful as that violet. That is gorgeous. The green and the blue right freaking through the middle. That's exactly what I was looking for. Maybe you guys can take what I started here and take it to the next level. Couldn't be happier with these. Even with that one that's got a dent in it, I'll totally fish that all day long. These all just turned out so good. Hope you guys enjoyed the journey. We made it through, no calamities. I do appreciate you coming along. And until the next time, see you guys in the shop.